Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Lisa Knowles-Smith, and you are tuning into the SMG Report.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the SMG Report. This is On the Record, and guess who's going on the record with me today? One of my favorite singers in the whole world. Not just Quartet, she's got a little praise and worship music out there. She's got a little gospel neo soul floating out there. We'll talk about that too. But I want you to help me welcome to the SMG Report today, none other than Lisa Knowles-Smith, Pastor Lisa Knowles-Smith. Welcome to the SMG Report.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and excited to. I want to tell you thank you in advance for taking the time to talk to me. I'm excited, just excited. That's all I got today. Excited.
Well, the excitement is mutual because, when y'all announced that y'all were coming to Dallas, there was a little, I was like, are they really coming? There were a lot of big cities on that list. And I was like, how did they choose Dallas? But I'm glad y'all are coming. And I talked to Carmina yesterday, Carmina Barnett, and listen, the
Yes.
excitement, it don't stop here, okay? It's everywhere. By the time you guys hit the stage Friday night, you even have an opening act contest. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you the scoop before we out of here, y'all. But you even have somebody opening from here. Listen, we're so excited. So just talk about the Browns coming to Dallas.
You know, I got an opportunity to come to visit for Pastor Chris Wesley for his recording. And that experience was just phenomenal. It's like something sparked in me being there. And when I got home, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I was just like, I think I want to go to Dallas. I think I want to go to Dallas. And we've done all of our other live recordings have been in our hometown with
Yep.
our homegrown people and the people that have watched us for all these years. So to do something outside the box and something different was not necessarily a problem, but it was a struggle, should I say. It was more of just kind of allowing God to lead you. And Dallas was the pick. That's where he led me to. And I told the girls, I said, hey, we're going to Dallas. And they was like, okay. and here we are. We're on our way to Dallas.
Wow, and I love this so much. And if you guys didn't know, you must be under a rock. This is monumental because this is your first recording. This is your first project after that huge Stellar win last summer. So, how are you feeling about doing that in Dallas?
I'm excited. I think that whole experience last year was a phenomenal year for the Brown Singers, and that excitement just kind of rolled over into this moment. New music. There's gonna be some new music, some old music, but I'm really excited about the new music because it really expresses the sentiments of our heart and where we are right now. Our language and music kind of speaks to where you are, and so just blessed and beyond grateful for the things that God has done. And this set of Brown Singers has been together for 20 years. So we've been through a lot of firsts together, getting married, having our kids, all these different things that have happened. So now we get to experience this along with just so much love. The outpouring of love from Dallas has been amazing. So we're just elated and we can't wait to get there.
So, I met the Browns. I can't remember who sent it to me, but I think it was Work on Me.
Ah,
Somebody sent Work on Me, and I said, okay, this group sounds good. And so I'm reading through I don't think it was a press release. It was just information about the group, and it was saying the cousins. It's talking about the cousins element, the family element, and I think it was saying something about your mother and grandmother. I can't remember
mm-hmm.
what the press release was saying, but you say y'all been together 20 years, so it's a multi-generational experience. What we're seeing now. How does the family feel watching you ladies be so successful and carry that legacy for?
Well, just to make sure that, for people who may not be familiar with us, the group has been singing since 1976.
Oh
So
wow!
it is a multi-generational group. The group started, my grandmother founded the group, and my mom is one of the original members. I did not come along until I was 9 years old in the early 90s. And the group was already established, already had recorded a couple of 45s. I know some people too young even know what 45 is, but a couple of 45s. And I became the lead singer at 12. So
Wow!
when I say this set, I mean like the five ladies that you see now, we have been together for 20 years, but the group has been established for over 40. So the family is just you never start off doing something, or I don't think that you start. I can only speak for us. We just started doing what we love to do. I became fascinated with this because my mama did it, my grandmama did it, my daddy played the bass, so you don't never know where God is going to take you. So the
Right.
family is always just like, everybody's like, look at what God is doing now, and
Yeah.
look what God did. So just glad to still be here. My grandfather is still living, so he'll be there with us Friday. So
Oh,
he was the one that was, driving the van when my mom and them was little, and now he drove me around when I was little. And so, for him to still be alive, to be able to see the things that God has done for us and the way that God has blessed to me is just a complete blessing. So everybody's excited. Our whole families are coming, and we got a bunch of kids and cousins and friends and aunties and uncles, and everybody's driving up, flying up to be in Dallas. So it's really going to be amazing.
wow. And again, it really is going to be amazing. The excitement is palpable throughout the Metroplex. Dallas is one city. I'm in Fort Worth. Between Dallas and Fort Worth, there are somebody said about 13 cities in between Fort Worth and Dallas. And you got
Wow.
Dallas, which extends north and south about a whole nother hour, hour and a half. Dallas, what we say. And so there's a lot of people coming, y'all. I want Antioch to have to put chairs out. Now, if they put
Listen,
chairs out Friday night, I can't guarantee what kind of church we already gonna have some church. Already gonna be good. But let them mess around and put some chairs out. Have
you
to
hear me?
deal with
It's something about being tight and hot that make church feel it just take it to a whole nother level. If it get
another
hot
level.
and it get tight, oh, God, he about to do something.
Oh my goodness. So I gotta ask you this, getting back into the recording, your expectations for Friday night. You've kind of told us set list. Can you go into the set list? Can you tell us maybe a favorite song? You bringing some new music. Now y'all already did the song I was asking for. You said it's on the last project, so I gotta do my research a little better. I'm sorry for wanting to hear that again. Want y'all to do it again. That's my bad. But
Which
you
one?
bringing us some
Okay,
new music.
okay.
What did I say? Man, made me hope that what he's done for me. That's what it was.
Ah, yes.
I
So
always
we did. We recorded that on Live in Memphis too. We redid, a version of that. And so for the set list this time, it's like I said, a little bit of old and a little bit of new. We've been singing for so long. So
yeah
sometimes when we do those, fun little Instagram and Facebook posts and say, what y'all want us to redo? They
yeah.
drop so many songs, everybody from different records and different eras of our life. So we're gonna have some nostalgic moments where we do medleys of songs that people have loved and that are fan favorites. And
Mm.
some music. There's a medley that I'm doing. I'm doing two different medleys. One of the medleys is a song that I recorded back when I was maybe I don't know, maybe 16, 17 years old. And, people for some odd reason gravitated. I was kind of trying to find myself early on. So, kind of merging different styles. So some of it sound like R&B gospel, some of it sound like rock and roll gospel, some of it sound, but I am like a melting pot of all music. So I play piano and I listen to all types of music. I'm a huge fan of country music.
Mm.
So I'm like a huge between country music and heavy metal. Don't judge me. I really like the heavy metal rock Queen, that whole rock and roll type of
Yeah.
vibe, but I also like the heavy metal too. So
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, my point is that the music is going to kind of be a little bit of everything. It's going to be some music, that worship music. Quartets don't do a lot of worship style songs, so God
Mm.
gave me a song while we were in Florida that we're going to record. That's amazing. I do have a favorite. There's a song called Brought Me that we're going to do. And it is literally, that's the one we haven't been able to get through. Every
Mm.
time we start singing, it becomes a moment for us, because when you think of how far God has brought you, you should just take a moment and
Mm.
just take inventory and say, listen, I remember when I was this, or I remember when I did that, or I remember this season of my life, but look how far God has brought me. And I tell people when I preach, I say, you can't go back, but it's always good to be able to look back and
Right.
see how far God has brought you. So that particular song is really special, and it really I think is going to be a blessing to a lot of people, and they're going to be able to relate to the lyrics of knowing how far God has brought us. So it's going to be good, and we're spending a lot of intentional time trying to make sure that it's an amazing experience.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about that. That you kind of get to go through on a journey through the music and through what God has done for us, and and I think we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna, and that's what makes a good experience. Like a good movie is a good movie to have you sitting on the edge of your seat. You cry a little bit, you laugh.
Yep.
So that's what we're hoping to bring to Dallas. Just an amazing experience, and for God to just kind of have His way in the midst of all of it.
Wow, I love that so much, and I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to all of that. Of course, I believe it. I believe it's gonna happen, and so that's why I think that's why everybody's so excited is because we are familiar with the group, and people in Dallas are from everywhere. So there are people. We got Memphis people, we got Nashville, Arkansas,
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
from everywhere that are familiar, and some of them brought that to us. They said, "Hey, y'all, have y'all heard of them?" And so they us, to we got it good here in Dallas. You know that.
Yeah,
Um,
I love it. I love it.
they say, hey, it's a little more than what y'all got down here in Dallas Fort Worth, and so that's why a lot of us love y'all so much because y'all are legit. I was talking to you about Malico's 50th year anniversary, and y'all did one of my favorite songs in the whole wide world. If you can't help me, please don't stop me. And I watched y'all do that, and of course, the way y'all were moving on stage, I said, "Oh my God, this is not just a regular quartet. I mean, y'all could go anywhere, and be successful. Fantasia has it, Casey Haley has it, Casey and JoJo,
Yeah,
they have it.
thank you.
And Quartet is one of those. It's a subgenre of gospel music, but it don't get the respect it gets, and watch it deserves anyway. But
Mhm.
watching y'all at Malico, I said, "Oh my God." I wasn't there, so I don't know if they had to settle the crowd down after y'all. But I know I watched it more than once the first time I saw it.
Wow.
And so that's just what y'all bring. Y'all are polished. You can call out Sierra or one of the other members, and everybody's moving. They in place. Um,
Mhm.
and I think as y'all were moving forward on the stage, I was moving on toward my computer, like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, what happened here? So I was watching that whole thing and I was like, man, the magnetism, is so strong. But I know that's years. You're talking about 20 years. You're talking about family, ties and all of that stuff. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. And so
Thank
that
you.
Stella win, I think, was so monumental because it's like the industry is saying, okay, we see you now.
Oh man, and you know what's amazing is that we've been nominated 9 times and we've won 4
Hmm.
um through the in the last, I would say, maybe 15 years or so. And
Yeah.
so, just having the opportunity to be able to display and not necessarily, I hate using the word showcase, but I'm gonna use it anyway, but showcase the quartet genre on the big stage, and for people to see. It's so much amazing talent in quartet, and so it's not what your mom and them, it's still that, but it has evolutionized into something that young people really really enjoy, like my kids. And I know they're homegrown, it's different when you're grown into something, but even kids that I run into so many like children that's like, hey, Miss Lisa, we ready to quartet scoot. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
wow, this
Yeah.
what we're doing is transcending through generations.
Yep.
And I'm grateful that the style of traditional quartet music has not gone out of style. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that we've been able to kind of revolutionize it in a way that reaches not just your mom and them, but it reaches the great grandbabies too. So I'm excited. I was excited about doing Malico, and if you can't help me, the angelic, tell me the name, angelic stars. Am I
Yeah.
saying it right? Yep. I studied her and watched her play the piano and them
Mhm.
doing their little shimmy down, and I got so tickled. I was thinking Quartet has always had a way of being able to deliver a sound and a style and a feel to people that are watching it. So it was an honor for us to be able to be a part of that, and kind of be ourselves in the process. And so
Yeah.
many people love that song. So I'm forever grateful to Malico for giving us the opportunity to be a part of that, because it was amazing. So yeah, yeah, Quartet is we still trying to hang in there. We hanging in there.
Y'all show are, and it's got a listen, a new twist, a new spin, a new sound. A quartet as strong as it ever has ever been. I got a few more questions before I let you go. I want to,
Okay.
while we're talking about quartet, the state of the industry, the gospel industry, and quartet, because for some reason those seem to be two separate entities, even though we're all one. Talk about the state of the industry right now and what we can do, where we are, and what we can do to level it up, because we're in an interesting space right now, I believe, anyway.
You know, I would agree. There's so many thoughts that I have about it. I've been blessed to be able to. I traveled with James Fortune for a few years, and I
Hmm.
was blessed to be able to go on the United as One tour and sing behind Vashawn and Kiera, and just so I've been able to see it from what I would consider to be both sides of the spectrum. Because of
Hmm.
course, quartet is a genre, but it is. I consider it. I call it like a mom and pop to a major franchise. It's like, the mom and pop stores are good. They have the good hamburgers and the good meat back there, but everybody don't know about it. Somebody got to tell you about it.
Right.
Versus, you got this major franchise that has the opportunity to be seen. They have the money, they have the, all these different things. So I think the industry as a whole is I think trying to navigate in the space of finding our way. There's so many things that have changed since I've been in the industry. So, there was a time we were selling CDs, that was a thing, like a real, real, real thing. And now not so much. So, how radio works. Now you got internet radio and but I think the industry, the gospel industry and the powers that be have done a great job, in my opinion, of trying to make sure that the gospel industry stays relevant and stays in the forefront of the faces of the people. And I even think now that the traditional sound of gospel music has become a sought after sound. I
Yeah.
think, the industry kind of misses the sound of what church sounds like. Everything goes through its phases, and we have to learn, like we had to learn to go from traditional marketing to digital marketing and to now operating in this virtual space that you and I are in. There was a time when I had to get in my car on a plane and come and sit with you to be able to do this. And
Right.
now we have the opportunity to kind of do that virtually. So I think innovation is on the rise. And I also think there's going to be there's a place where we have to go back to what's familiar. And what has kept the gospel music industry afloat is the gospel. So I think, there's going to be a place for all of these different styles and sounds, and from praise and worship, contemporary, quartet, choir music. There's coming a time where we can all kind of effectively work together, and continue to make Jesus famous through the music that we sing.
Oh, I love that so much. So listen, we talked about your versatility. I want y'all to ruminate on what she just said. She said a whole lot right there. And
Ooh, I did.
I'm going to get into why I believe you have that perspective. Not only being in the industry such a long time, but I'll get into that. But before I close out, I just again want to celebrate your versatility. You did mention James Fortune. I remember playing that song. I can't remember the name of it. But when it came to me, I was like, "This is an instant ad." Keep them coming. There's a song you did with Monica Lisa Stevenson. I was like, I didn't know she sounded like that. I didn't know she could sing like that. I want to say it's just that kind of guy. Um,
With Monica Lisa, I think I did Speechless with her.
Speechless. There you go. That was you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know she could sound like that. Then
Wow.
I got Great Big God. No, I
Uh-huh.
didn't. I heard it, and I went to iTunes and bought it myself because nobody
Wow.
was servicing me the song. Promoters. Anyway, I got the song and I said she is killing this praise. I was like, Quartet don't do this. So your versatility is unmatched in the industry.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank you.
normally would pull back into Quartet after a while. The song would go into some kind of bluesy groove, but no, I was like, this is all day worship gospel. So you killing it in everything you do. But you're also, I got to close with this. You're also a pastor. You pastor with your husband, and so that takes everything up a notch. Takes your community
Yeah.
notch. It takes your understanding, your revelation about life up a notch. Talk about your pastoring journey as we close our interview.
You know, life has become, and then I don't want to say become because it always has been,
Hmm.
um, us obeying God and just doing what He's called us to do.
Yeah.
So never in a million years would I have ever guessed, coming from a traditional Baptist family where women couldn't even stand in the pulpit. that I would be, pastoring and sharing our love for the gospel and trying to answer the call of what God has called us to do in this
Yeah.
season, in this hour. I remember calling my grandfather and telling him that I was going to accept my calling to preach. And he's an old, Baptist pastor he's retired now, but at the time, 30 something years. And he said, I tell you what, if God calls you to do it, then who am I to say anything else about it? You do what
Wow.
God called you to do. And he
Yeah.
was there at my first sermon. He was there at our ordination. He was there, every moment that God has allowed us to be elevated to do the work that he has called us to do. We've had the support of our family and friends. And I don't want to do anything. I'll say this. I don't want to do anything unless God says it.
Yeah.
So whatever God says for us in our lives, that's what we're going to do. We've been able to manage pastoring and traveling and singing and running a record label and starting a nonprofit and supporting my mama's cancer support group and all these different things that we have been able to do are all just products of obedience. And
Mm.
when you obey God, I said on an interview yesterday, I said, when you obey God, you end up floating on favor because the favor will find you. And that's Friday is a testament of God's favor on our life for just obeying and doing what he's called us to do.
Mm.
So I'm grateful to be able to do that. My husband is a powerful, awesome man of God. And anybody, they will tell you I prioritize very well God and then him. And
Yeah.
then my everything else, my team, they know. Let me talk to my husband first. I have waited so long to say that. Woo! Brother Willis, I had waited so long to say my husband. So listen, I'm excited, and my husband, he's one of my biggest supporters, and he's a, quiet guy. He also sings with the Quartet group. So he sings with Blessed by Four, and he's been singing it his whole life. And, he kind of stands back in the cut and allows me to be me and supports. And even, in pastoring, I feel like God brought us together to complement one another.
Yeah.
And it's just been a complete blessing. I thank God we've got a chance to serve in multiple capacities and be a blessing to people. And I just get it now. I used to didn't understand
Mm.
the gift felt like a curse, and
Mm.
that's because I was trying to keep the gift for myself.
Yep.
Let me somebody right fast, just grab this in the Holy Ghost, is that whenever God gifts you to do something, whatever that is, singing, preaching, teaching, administrating, or orchestrating, whatever it is that God has gifted you to do, the gift is not for you. And if you try to keep the gift to yourself, you'll be miserable because you won't be able to get the gratification that we receive when we give it and when we allow God to be a blessing to other people through the gift. So I'm grateful that God has gifted us to be able to use every tool that he's given us to try to make him great and help people know and come into awareness of who God is. So listen, life is good. I
Wow.
said a lot.
You. That's what happened. You were preaching right there, and I grabbed that in the Holy Ghost. By the way, I
Yes,
grabbed that. That
yes.
was for me. Listen, is this album title going to be Live in Dallas, or do y'all have a working title?
We have a few up in mind right now, but the experience is definitely going to be live in Dallas.
Okay.
I haven't settled on anything just yet
Okay.
because I kind of like to be open to. You never know what will happen in the night. God may
Right.
give us that title while we're on stage. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm one of those kind of people. Like I just like to kind of go in the moment and see what God says, and I just think it's going to be an experience, and God's going to make the way plain, and it's going to be it's going to be what He wants it to be. Whether I want it to do whatever I want, he gonna supersede
Right.
that. It's
Right.
what he wants. So I'm excited. I'll make sure you the first to know whenever we decide.
Come on now. Lock me in. I want the scoop. Put me in. Well, listen, we have had a fantastic time today. We even went a little bit over time, but my guest today has been none other than Pastor Lisa Knowles-Smith, and I
Thank you.
am too ready to experience Friday Night Live in Dallas with Lisa Knowles-Smith and the Brown Singers. I want to thank you so much for your time. She said a whole lot. I normally give artists the last word, but she preached. Did not our hearts burn? Listen, if I had a studio audience, I would do like Bobby Jones. Did not our hearts burn? Now, if you want the last word, you can have it.
Oh no, yeah. I want to say my last words would be thank you again so much for sharing your platform with us and giving us the opportunity to kind of talk about what's going on. And of course, when new music is coming, I'd love to come back and chat with you again. Can't
Yeah,
wait to see on Friday. It's going to be awesome. Invite somebody, invite somebody. It's free, open door, no ticket needed. Doors open at 6. I'm looking for everybody. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Dr. Fred Willis.
That's me, y'all, and she is Pastor Lisa Knowles-Smith. I got to stop messing that up. For the SMG report, I am Fred Willis. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see y'all Friday in Dallas, Antioch Fellowship Center. She's gonna be there on stage. I'm gonna be in the back, cutting up, turning up a chair or a row or two. All right, don't mind me though. All right, but I'll see y'all then. All right, thank you so much for your time.